on Twitch. Then we'll start getting into it.
I set up a bunch of stuff for my stream last night.
Mm-hmm.
My like all my stuff. I was
Then we'll start getting into
making
it.
graphics for my YouTube and my
I
my
set up a
Twitch and
bunch of
stuff
stuff.
for and I started messing with Twitch alerts. So have you ever seen the that dude thing? I think yeah,
Yeah,
you have.
yeah.
My when someone follows me, I found a GIF image of it and I downloaded the audio from that YouTube clip, and
No,
it
you
goes together. So when someone follows, it goes, "So, dude," it like
that's
does,
that's
and
great.
the GIF and the audio like line up perfect. It's so fun. It's so awesome.
That's that's pretty great. I like that.
So, dude.
Dude. Yes, I'll have to follow you so that way it happens.
Only when I stream. I might stream later. We'll see.
All right.
I got so much stuff to do today.
Yeah, I think I have to head to downtown a little bit later. I don't know. I haven't done any of
Like
my homework for class.
like I say that, but it's really not that much stuff. I just want to go to the gym. I want to clean up a little bit, and have to see Deadpool. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's a lot of stuff, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll just use the fiddle for now, and then I'll kind of introduce you to like Visual Studios and teach you
Roger that.
how to make a project in there. So, what's your experience? You kind of told me that you didn't really have too much experience with programming at all, right?
Yeah, I did a little bit, like a couple weeks on that one class thing you sent me,
Hmm.
but uh, it was just kind of confusing, I guess, because I couldn't like ask questions. I really only had what
Yeah.
like the presenter was presenting to me. It was still kind of confusing, so I mean,
Yeah, it's definitely
I
difficult.
still feel like I know nothing.
So,
I
then I'll
guess
just start from the bare
I guess I
minimum.
understand.
Okay.
I kind of like understand like the idea,
Hmm.
but I just don't know how to make it work.
So
If that makes sense.
we'll go over some like pretty basic terminology right now. Um,
Uh-huh.
so there's something called like high level programming and low level programming. Um, so for high level programming, that's what we're going to be doing. And when I say high level programming, that means that we're several layers abstracted, and abstracted means like, pulled away from basically the hardware. Because communicating with the hardware is actually it's very complex kind of. I don't know if complex is the right word to say. It's different, right? Like
Hmm.
everything is I don't know, have you ever heard of the term like assembly code? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay, so basically like at the lowest level that you like a human communicates with that's not talking binary, which is ones and zeros. The
Hmm.
programming languages like the next level up would be like something called assembly language, right? So assembly language is this weird thing that we're not really going to go in depth about. I just want to tell you like what it is. So it's like this
Hmm.
it's a language that is probably the fastest language to communicate with a computer. um, so we're like several layers above that, right? And that's why things kind of look like when we're looking at this .NET Fiddle, um, it kind of looks like English, even though it may not look like English to you. It's got all these weird brackets and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot more English looking than what assembly is. So
God.
um, don't worry. Right now, we're not going to worry about. I don't know if you can see me highlighting, but
Yeah.
don't. We're not going to worry about any of what any of this means. This is completely useless to us right now. Basically, we're we're, we're going to be using the language C sharp for now, just because I feel like it's a pretty good. It's kind of what I started out with a little bit, like in order to actually get like a good understanding of programming. Um, so in this little program, just know that like we're using something called a console app. I don't know if you can see that it says project type.
Yeah. Yep.
So console type just means it's going to use like, if you're on a desktop and you are making a console project, you'd like the actual CMD would pop up when you're I don't know if you've ever done any of that before, but
Yeah, I messed with a little bit
okay.
in that one I was doing.
So every console program or every program in general has to have this, and this is a main. This is basically an insertion point for Windows to be able to know that this is where it needs to start. This main right here.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let's start out with data types. Now, are you familiar with that term, data types?
Um,
Have you ever
no.
seen? Okay, so basically, we're gonna go over uh, .NET, which is C sharp. You can see like up here it says .NET.
Uh-huh.
.NET framework language C sharp has a bunch of data types, but we're only gonna work with like a very few data types right now. So we'll go over like numbers and some different variation of the numbers. And the first one we'll go over is called int. So what I did here, these two slashes, this is called a comment. And what a comment is a piece of code that actually doesn't get run by the you know the it just the compiler completely ignores those pieces of code. It's just blank space. Doesn't matter.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't see what you typed for some
Oh,
reason.
you
Let me
don't you
try to
don't see
look at
anything? Okay.
uh
Huh. Let's see here. Do you see anything now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see it.
So this is a comment,
Okay.
and there's two different ways there's actually several different ways to comment. This is a comment block right here. So anything in between here can be like a longer comment. And typically people will do things like in comments like, name, date, uh, description, like,
Yeah.
so we'll go over what integers are. Or not really what they are, but how they work, I guess. So the
Yeah.
next thing I'll show you is called declaration and variables. So in order to we basically need a place to store some of these values, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll do is we'll tell .NET that we want an int named X. So that's what I did. That's what this line. I don't know if can you see this line right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm telling them that I want int X. All right. Now, right now, int X doesn't have there's no value to it, right? So if I'm going to output this, and don't worry, like console is just a way to write stuff into here, and I'll run this. Do you see what it says? Compilation error, use of
Yeah.
unassigned local variable X.
Yep.
So I don't have any assignment to it. There's no value, right? So let's assign it the value 1. So now down here there's no problems, right? I have
Uh-huh.
1 popping up. So on these, I don't necessarily need to have it stored in a variable. If I just put like 1, it will show up. 2, this would show up like it. But obviously, like for reuse purposes, it's good to store things in variables if you need to. For instance, let's say that I wanted to do int y equals 2, and then we're going to declare another variable called z equals x plus y, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll do here is we will output all of the variables, run this. So you see how it says 1, 2, 3? So the
Yeah.
value of z is x plus y.
Makes sense.
So you kind of following me here, like a little bit. This isn't
Yeah.
too hard, right? So we can do
No,
arithmetic
I think this is
operations.
like the basic what I learned
This is
like
basically what you
last
learn.
time.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like
we
the
can.
most. But I guess what I was confused is how you like turn this into a program.
So
Like I
we'll
never got that far.
we'll get there. We'll
Yeah,
trust. This is all just grind. We got to grind through this stuff, though. I
yeah,
know
yeah.
it's kind of annoying, but
But
so
it's nice to be able to ask questions or like have clarification. That's the only thing that sucked about the other trying to do it the other way. There was no kind of like teacher,
yeah.
so it's just kind of on my own.
So all right. So you're familiar with all the arithmetic operations, right? Arithmetic like times, equals, minus.
Yeah.
So the interesting one is division, though, and there's an extra one called a modulus, right? So
Uh-huh.
what do you think the value of, so y is 3, or y is 5, x is 3. What do you think the value of z is going to be if I divide?
Beautified.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is
I
a
don't know.
this is
I'm really
interesting.
bad at math.
So
It should not be 0.
it should be this. Is so what 5 divided by 3. Technically, it should be,
Yeah,
you should have
like
some type of
1.5
decimal
or something.
point. Exactly, right? But we're missing the decimal, right? We don't have it. It's
Yeah.
just been truncated. So basically what happened is the value should be, I just pulled up the calculator here, 1.666 whatever, right?
Mm,
So, but it didn't, it kind of just chopped this off. And it was like, okay, this is good enough. 1. Right? So the integer
yeah.
division is always going to give you however many times this number can nicely fit into the divising number right here.
All right. So it basically is going to round down every time,
Basically, yeah.
kind
It
of,
could be, you could have like 1.9 and it would still round down.
to 1.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, don't get me, there's some weird things that may happen that I'm not aware of, but we'll just go over that. So the next one here is, this is another interesting one, right? This is called the modulus. Have you seen this operator before? The percent sign?
Uh, nope.
Okay,
This
we'll get.
is the first.
So what this is saying, this is saying, give me the remainder of the division right here. Okay, and what does that mean in in terms of what we're actually doing? So I'll show you. So 2, right?
Yeah.
So why does it equal 2? Well, that's because 5 can go, 5 minus 3 equals 2, right? That's the reason why
Hmm.
this value equals 2. This is the remainder of the division, the integer division. Modulus can only work when you're working with the types of integers, right? Because if we have more precision, meaning if we have actual decimal places, there's no need for the modulus. I mean, we won't have a remainder. We'll just have decimal precision. So since we've kind of gone over this, I'll introduce a new data type. So this one's called float. Now float, we will do g equals. So this is a different way to declare. This is I'm telling them I want a float name G, and I'm immediately assigning it a value rather than breaking it up. Right? You following me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's something weird that happens here, and I'll go over this in a minute. But floats, when you declare them, you have to put an F at the end, and then I'll tell you why in a second. So we have float G, and then we have float H, right? And we can do operations. So I'm going to do these a bit different. I'm going to write them inside of this console dot write line, and I'm going to say G times H, right? And I got 15, right?
Yeah.
So let's do the division. Okay, I misspelled line. So that's a good point here. Is capital? You'll see like capitalization actually matters, like in how the words actually spelled out.
Yeah.
So let's reverse this. So we'll see that this right here is the result of what we had before. Like this is technically what we should have got before, right? Up here.
Yeah. Here's
But
the actual decimals.
yeah, so this gives us more precision. However, it's only precise up to let me look. I mean, I don't exactly remember what C sharp float accuracy is, but this is another good thing to kind of get familiar with. Is Microsoft has a developer network. I'll go ahead and shoot this in Discord. So 7 digits. It has 7-digit precision, right? So that means that anything past this, that these two numbers are probably more than likely inaccurate. So you can, if you stored it in a larger number, maybe you would get more sixes and then, whatever. But it basically is telling you that the last one or two numbers it may have rounded. So, all right, we introduced two different types. So let me delete some of this stuff. I promise you that we'll be doing. I'll be showing you how to get some input from the user and stuff in a second.
That's cool.
All right, I just want to go over.
Learning.
So we're gonna declare int x, and we're gonna give it the value 5, and we're gonna declare float y, and we're gonna give it the value of, let's just go with 3.0 f, right? So let's do this. Now, do you think I'll be able to do this? What do you think? What do you think the result of this will be? So I'm taking. Do you see what I'm doing here? I have x is of integer type.
Yeah,
Right.
they're different
Data types.
types.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say probably not gonna work. Of course, I could be wrong. Oh, it worked.
Let's do this. Do you see kind of what's going on here?
Yeah.
It implicitly convert this value, this int. It's treating it as if it was a float as well.
So what happens if you try to use like a decimal point in the integer one? Or
This it won't compile. You see,
okay.
it will throw an error. But if I
So even though it still works, you don't have that freedom of actually using. You can with float. Okay. Cool.
So let's see. I think this may lose the precision if I do this? Nope, it keeps it. Okay. So if I did it into an int, x plus y, let's just say. You see how it's throwing me right now an error.
Yeah.
Let's see. It says if you hover over it, I don't know, can you see it when I hover over it?
No, but I can hover over it.
You
X.
see what it says? Cannot implicitly convert type float to int. An explicit conversion is needed. So implicit was kind of like what we just saw. Even though that value was an integer, it still allowed us to do arithmetic operations on that. So this one's complaining because it's telling us that, y is not an integer. But now, do you see it's fine? What I did here is I casted y to an int, and it gave me back the value 8. So basically, it just chopped some precision off of this value, and then it allowed me to do this operation.
Gotcha. I see.
So this is what you called an explicit cast. All right, I'm explicitly stating that I want this to be an integer. What we showed before, where where we had x plus y or whatever, like this was implicit. It knew that x was an int, but we want floating precision, so it converted it to a float, and it allowed us to do that operation without having to go up to x and say, I want you to be a float. I mean, this will still work. It's just you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
All right, so we kind of know to. We'll go over like other data types as we get along. Basically, just to give you like a brief overview, there's like one called decimal. There's one called double. Like these are all numerical ones. There's even more ones. Uint. There's a short. There's a bunch of them, right? We don't got to worry about them too much right now. We're just gonna go like pretty much stick to int and float for the time being. So, all right. Do you have any questions or anything so far?
Nah, I think you're doing a good job so far. It's all making sense.
Okay. Cool. Uh-oh. Is the stream down? No, it says it's up. Twitch is just being weird.
What's
Okay.
your thing?
Cool. It said it was offline for some reason, but here I'll shoot a link in Discord.
I did end Kane, but it says just.
It's just some weirdo, just not. All right. So now we'll go over like some input stuff, so that way I can get you typing some stuff in here. So for input, you saw me using this guy, right? Console. I don't know if can you see it when I type in and I go console and I hit dot? Can you see all the options that pop up?
No.
No? Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to go in here and I want you to type console, capital C, and then hit dot. Do you see all those options that pop up?
Yep.
So basically, yeah, there's a ton of stuff on here. But the two ones that we're going to be primarily concerned with right now is console.write line, right? And then the second one is going to be console.read line. It's pretty straightforward what it does, right? We're going to write to the console, and then we're going to read some input that a user has entered in. So we can say, we haven't really gone over what this is yet, but basically there's something called a string, right? And we'll go in more depth to this later, but a string is basically a series of, it's a text. It's just text, right? So that's what we're gonna give that to console.writeLine. We're gonna say, hello, what is your name? And this is going to read it, right? Now, what we can do here So I guess we shouldn't really skip over the string. So we're gonna declare a variable called name, a string of type data type string, right? And what we're going to do is this console is going to give us back, this console.readline is going to give us back our name. And then we're going to output this. Hello there, right? And what this plus sign is doing is it's concatenating the string. So it's like, since this is a string of type string, and I misspelled line. Since this is a type string, it's just mashing these two guys up together, right? So down here, it's asking me for input. I'll just say Nick. You see what it did? So it says, hello, what is your name? I put Nick, and it says, hello there, Nick. Right?
Yep.
So what we can do here is you can continue adding things like, what is your age? All right. Console dot readline. So what do you think? Like, since this is going to be a numerical value, what do you think we should do? Should we store it as an int?
Yes.
So well, it's throwing me an error. Can you see what the error says?
Cannot implicitly convert type string to int.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? So console.readline actually returns me a string value. It gives me back a string value. So age has
So
to
it has
be
to be a
string, exactly. But if I want to do, let's say that I want to do, let's just say I want to double your age, okay? It's because this computer is kind of not a nice computer. It's going to take your age and it's going to double it. So we're going to say double age equals age times 2. Now this doesn't work. Do you know why? Again, we can't do anything on a string. We actually need age to be of type int. Now, I can't do this. This isn't gonna work, right? Because this string is not anywhere close to, like, at least a float and an int are both numerical values. This is just text. Text is different, right? So what I have to do here is I have to do something called int32 dot try parse, and I have to give it age. And if it's basically what this is going to do is this should return me, actually. So this method's a little bit weird, and we'll get into method in a second. Mistyped that, yeah. So basically I have to give it, this is kind of weird, right? Let's see, I thought this one takes an out. Yeah, it does. I think this is messed up. Let me see. Why is it yelling at me? Oh yeah. Okay. So don't worry about this right now. But basically what I'm doing is I'm giving it the string value right here. Right? And I'm telling it to store it inside of this variable now. So now I can come down here and I could say double age equals age times 2. Right? Well, actually this should be double age. So I'm telling it that this value equals the current value stored in here times 2. Did I lose you at all on that? I know this is a little confusing.
A little bit. I think I get it.
Okay. So let's give him our input. My name's Nick. What's my age? I'll just put 10. I'm 10 years old. Oh, I didn't output the actual age. So let's do that. That would be helpful. So we'll do double age. I could spell. 20. So basically what I'm trying to just show you here is that there has to be like a series of things that like this console just return, it's going to return a string. A majority of time when you're working with like any type of values that are inputted into boxes or like programs, it's all strings. So if you're trying to use numbers, you have to convert the string values to their proper numerical representation, the proper data types. So that's all that I'm doing right here. I'm just taking the string value that they entered and throwing it inside of here. Now what would happen if I did this? My name's Nick. And what happens if I do 10? Nothing, right? Nothing would happen. Like there's no issues, and that's because I'm using try parse. Now this is a special method that's basically like it allows you to like fail kind of safely, right? If I use, there's another method I think like convert dot to like to int 32, this one, and I can literally take like the string value age, and I believe that if I try to run this one, it would and I type in what I just put. Let's see. I don't know how this thing will respond to it. Yeah. So you see down here it says runtime exception input string was not correct format. So this is basically throwing an exception, and this is a very ugly way of handling your problems. If we were in a computer, like an actual console right now, we would be it would like prompt us with this error message, and we would just see this big box. But when I do it with try parse, you know, you don't see any of that. It just goes directly to 0. It's nice. It's clean, right? It failed. It didn't really. It knows it failed, but it kind of handled itself after it failed. Yeah, this isn't accurate, but you can you can do some logic here to determine whether or not it works. So let's get used typing some code because I know our hour is almost up.
All right.
Let me consult the old textbook here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So I'll type this out. A program that say value from can you move your cursor just a little bit down? Cool, thanks.
Yep.
X of let's just say 0.5 to the total set. And output the result. Okay, does that make sense? So basically I want you to create a program that accepts a value from, not for a user, or from a user for an item price. And I want you to apply sales tax of 0.05 to it and output the result.
All right.
And I'll help you through it. Just ask me any questions you have.
Oh my gosh, where to start? Okay.
So a good place to start would be like data types. So we're taught what data type do you think that we would need for item price and to apply the sales tax?
A string or an integer?
Well, we're probably like, how much do things normally cost? Things normally cost like, $1.99 or
Yeah.
$1.98, right? So what?
So a float would work
Yeah,
better for that.
exactly. So we'll probably need like a float.
Okay.
So you'll call the variable whatever you want. Yeah, that's fine. And semicolon. Yeah, there you go. So we will need a a some type of string variable to store the result in, right?
Yeah.
So basically, like you can put here like string user input, right? Because we want this to be price, and you can continue going on. Like you can prompt them however you want.
Uh.
And then a semicolon at the end there to so yeah, it's something I failed to mention is like every statement you just want to throw a semicolon up there. All right, cool. So now we'll need okay.
I guess I'm doing this right.
Yeah, kind of. So console is
Yes.
got that O right here. Fix that guy. So um what is it? What error is it throwing? Go ahead and take a look there.
Cannot implicitly convert type string to float.
Yeah, so what did we say? Do you remember what we said about console.readline? What it returns us? So there's a reason why we have this guy up here. This user input. We're going to want to switch this to user input, right? Now it stopped yelling at us. There's no issue here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, since I didn't, I'll do this part for you. So we have like float dot try parse, right? Do you remember the try parse thing?
Yeah.
So basically, I want you to type this in, okay? So I want you to do float dot try parse.
All right.
Do you see the option pop up? So when you hit when you hit the two braces, so in here the first thing that you're gonna put in is gonna put user input, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna just say I want out of this I want this back price. So now price should equal whatever value that was inputted here, right? So now your price variable up here that you declared up here has the price that they entered in here, right? So let's do let's do the output now. So what I want you to do is now I want you to apply the sales tax to the total and output the result.
Gotcha.
Yeah, these are just warnings. Don't it's just telling you the variable was declared but hasn't been used yet. Yeah, it tries to be like super helpful. Sometimes it's a little annoying.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what it's.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like I said, if you get stuck on anything and you're kind of having a hard time thinking, just let me know, man. Well, we got to convert the tax, right? We got to actually get the tax amount. So that means
Yeah.
that we have to get the price times 0.05, and this equals the tax, right? And then what we have to do is we have to take the price and plus the tax to get the total price.
Trying to take a math problem and convert it to this is like,
It's weird, right?
yeah. Okay. So I don't need this float tax yet, right?
There's certain ways to do it without it, and there's ways to do it with it. Whatever way that you're comfortable with for now is what way we'll use. So if you feel like you need the tax variable, go ahead and use it.
Well, basically need to set what tax is, right?
Yeah,
Tax equals 0.05.
yeah, you need to. So right now you're going to get an error because you don't have what this is, but if you want to declare it in one line, you can just type float at the beginning of it and then this. But do you remember there's some caveats with this, right? There's some weird things going on. We have to actually have an F here at the end.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, and I haven't really explained why yet, but we'll probably do that another time.
That's cool. Tax.
So now
So,
you have this basically, right? You have you have the price. You can do price times this, right? So you could do what you could do is you could say tax equals price times tax, right? This makes sense because then you're
yeah,
reusing this variable to store the tax, right? Does that make sense to you?
yeah.
I mean, if you wanted, you could declare
Tax.
another variable,
Oh, okay.
but it's up
So
to
you're
you.
just saying to simplify it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll show you another way that you could do it. Just so like, this is the thing. Logic is never, there's never really wrong logic. There's just different ways to solve problems. Some problems may be easier for you to read than there are for me to read, but there's no wrong way as long as we come out to the same result. So if you're going to declare, yep, there you go. Okay.
Oh, gosh dang it.
It's alright, man. It happens to me all the time too when I write. So let's go ahead and run through this program and see what result it gives us. So right now you can come down here and type in the item price. So we can start out with like a very
Dude,
basic number. You could do like 2.0 or something.
yeah, $2. Hmm. Oh, I needed to add them. Shit.
Yeah, so do you see what it
I needed to do total price plus price.
yep.
I forgot a step.
It's okay.
Okay, that works. It
Everything's good.
displays it as 2.1 though.
Is that right? Let's see.
Yeah,
Times.
I mean it is, but if you're looking at price, is there a way to force it to show the zero? Like
Yes.
two
There
dollars
there
and ten
there
cents.
is definitely a way to do that, but we'll save that for another time because
Save
that's a
that
whole
for later.
nother topic. So what I
That's a
want you
whole nother thing.
Yeah, that's formatting strings. That's a bit different. So let me show you something. Okay, you solved the problem, right? Like
hmm
But I want to show you this,
A
right?
different
I
way.
want to show you a different way just to get you thinking differently.
Hmm. All of these words are looking like they're spelled wrong to me for some reason. Price looks spelled so wrong. I don't know why.
Yeah, words will start looking weird when you start programming. So do you see how we came at the same result, but I solved it in
Yeah.
one line of code?
Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of this, right? A lot of what I just showed you is like, instead of doing these operations up here and like this down here, I just
Mm.
did this, and this worked. This is yelling at me. Oh, it's because I don't even need tax, right? I could just do that if I really wanted, right?
Yeah.
And this will still work. 2.0, right? So basically,
Hmm.
just we haven't gone over what this is yet, but basically it means the same thing as price equals price plus. I don't know. Do you know? We haven't gone into this either, but there's a way to set different precedencies of operations. So like in basic mathematics, you could use parentheses in order to get something to happen first, right?
Yeah.
So right now, if I left it like this, this would actually go first before adding. But if I wanted adding to happen first, I would just throw these in there. But this isn't the right calculation, right? This would
Yeah.
not be correct. Anyways, so this is basically right here. This line is the same exact thing as this. It's just this is shorthand for like reassignment. Price equals price plus, you know, plus something, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we close up the show, I just want to kind of show you how to. I want to show you how to create a project in Visual Studio as a console project since you downloaded that already.
Hmm.
I don't know if there's a way for me to screen share with you. I haven't really figured it out yet. So I'm gonna try to walk you through this without actually seeing your screen, which is weird to say, but I don't know how else to do it. Um, so just load up Visual Studios, and I'll try to kind of walk you through it.
All right.
Let me
I already
know.
have it up.
Okay, cool. So you should have like a start page up. Do you see the start page? It should say like Visual Studios,
Um,
Discover Visual Studio Community 2015, and like all this other news crap on it. Do you see any of that?
I think I closed that.
Oh, that's fine. Then forget it. Won't need it. So we'll go to file. Do you see the file button,
Yeah.
the file tab? Okay, go to File, New, and then we're gonna go to Project. Do you have that?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and click File, New Project. All right. So you should see a bunch of stuff on here, right? There should be like on the right hand side it will say like installed, and then there'll be templates, right? So the templates one, do you see something that says Visual C Sharp?
Yes.
Okay. So click on the Visual C Sharp one, and you're within the Visual C Sharp window, you'll see something that says console application, right? You see that?
Do I need to open this Windows form application?
I'm sorry, what? No, 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 not Windows Form application. Console application.
Oh,
It should
oh,
be, if you clicked on Visual C Sharp, the little tab up top, it should be the one, two, three, four, fifth down. It's the fifth down for me. It may not actually be that for you. But if you want, what you could do is
oh. What?
there's a little search box in the top right. Do you see the little
Yeah.
magnifying glass? You can just type in console application, I think, or console app, and hit enter, and you'll see like a bunch of different console apps.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so do you want on the right hand side there's a column that has the language. You want the one that says C sharp, and you want the one that says just console application. You do not want the C++ or the Visual Basic one. Do you see the one that says C sharp console application?
Yeah. It says console application in Visual Plus
C++?
or C sharp.
C sharp? Yeah,
C
okay.
sharp.
So click on that, and then you can name this like, whatever you want. You can store it wherever you want. And I just want you to create it right now. So hit OK, and it will set up a project for you. Let me know when it's done.
Done.
It's done. Okay.
I posted a link in Discord. You can see if it works.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Might be sharing my screen.
Yeah,
You'll
let's
have to let me know.
let's take a little looks. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. It is actually. Let's. Thank you. I don't know how this looks on stream. Hopefully, it doesn't look terrible. If it does, actually, I'll just kind of split these up. Okay. Awesome. So you have the Okay. I'll just kind of show it, like, talk you through the navigation of things. So this should look kind of familiar, right? This is kind of what we were just working on.
Yeah.
So on the right-hand side, you'll see something called Solution Explorer, and you'll see something called program.cs. That is your main file right there. That's what we got open right here. Okay. So basically, what I want you to do inside of this program is I want to just show you what debugging means, right? So inside of this, inside of static void main, I just want you to type in like console dot write line, and I just want you to put like some series of text, like hello whatever, hello world, inside of here. So just hit enter once, so that way you're on the next line, and just type console dot hello world. Okay, nice. So we'll want, there you go, awesome.
It automatically added the.
Yeah, do you see, like, this is how, like, using Visual Studios makes things a little bit easier because it automatically completes things for you. So, alright, so what I want you to do is I want you to hit F11 once on your keyboard. Okay, just give it a second. Okay, do you see how your cursor's highlighted yellow and you have like a little arrow? And the right hand side, or left hand side, the very left hand side, there's like a little yellow arrow. Okay, so go ahead and you see where it says diagnostic tools, how there's like a little pin up there to the very right. Just go ahead, you don't need to look at the diagnostic tools, so go ahead and click that, auto hide. Okay, so what this does is this allows you to step through your program line by line, right? So go ahead and hit F11 one more time. You see how it went to the next line?
Yeah.
And then if you hit it one more time, it goes over, and then if you hit it one more time, the program will end. So it's pretty cool, right? You can step through your program. So like let's say like in the last instance when I showed you how to how you programmed the project, like you could have stepped through it and seen if you had any errors by hitting F11. So
One step at a time.
yeah, one thing at a time. So stepping through the code. So this is called debugging your application. So yeah, man, that's basically it for today. Like, if you should ask like any questions that you have, or like if you want me to set you up with something to like come up. Like, if you want, do you want me to give you like a little challenge to do, so that way you can bring it to me next week?
That would be cool.
Okay.
I should practice though.
Yeah.
Make a clear goal.
Okay. Okay. Let's. Do you have any questions while I look for something to give you?
I guess not at the moment. It's
Not.
still just kind of basic. I just need practice with it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's.
I want it to become at least this basic stuff. Just feel natural, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. It will. It just takes a little bit of time, man. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find something to give you that would be useful. Unfortunately, like I have like a different language book, but I think like these problems are really good. Oh wow, this is a good one. Nice, I like this one. Okay, so your first one is going to be, I'll post it up in Discord. I want you to write a program that takes in value and outputs the figure. So we'll just stick to that one. I don't want to give you like a whole bunch unless you want more than that.
That works.
Okay, I think that's a good one. And
So I'll do this 100% like on my own, and then when I bring it next time, um, you can just go over it, like maybe show me ways, like if I added like extra stuff I didn't need.
yeah, yeah, definitely, dude. So like if you want and if you're getting into it, like I would just do the first one. Second is we'll just say optional. So like if you're into it and you're like, oh wow, that was actually pretty fun. Like then do the reverse. So the reverse meaning like take Fahrenheit, convert it to Celsius. Like so yeah. Anyways, dude. Yeah, I'm glad that you're doing this, and we should do it again next week.
Yes. Well, I want to learn more.
Cool. Awesome. So I guess it's kind of over now. So thanks for anybody that watched, even though I don't think anybody watched at all, which is fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Later.